Hello, I'm Haley Cook with your SCV News Break for Friday, April 10th. A shooting in Canyon Country Friday afternoon left one man injured and a woman in custody. Santa Clarita Sheriff's deputies received a call just before 3 p.m. regarding a man who was shot at an apartment building in the 18,000 block of Ann's Circle. The male victim sustained 2 gunshot wounds, one in his left thigh and one in his forearm, but they do not appear to be life-threatening. Initial reports indicate the shooting was a domestic violence incident. The woman was detained and the investigation is ongoing. One of 3 men found guilty of a Halloween murder that occurred back in 2011 was sentenced on Thursday. 20-year-old Eric Edwards was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison plus 4 consecutive life terms. Edwards was still a teenager when he and 2 other boys, Diamante McGee and Brandon Higgs, robbed Ricardo Sandoval and murdered Alejandro Sanchez Torres. The incident occurred behind Arts Liquor in Canyon Country after Sanchez Torres attempted to stop the boys from robbing Sandoval. Sanchez Torres had his then 7-year-old son with him at the time. Edwards and McGee were both found guilty of murder and attempted murder, among a slew of other charges. Higgs was found not guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and later given a mistrial on the other 10 counts against him. Edwards will have to serve a minimum of 58 years in prison before he is eligible for parole. McGee is due back in court for sentencing in May, and Higgs is due back in court next week for a hearing about his retrial. After months of freedom, a convicted serial rapist may be going back to prison. The Los Angeles District Attorney Jackie Lacey announced Friday that a revocation hearing has been set for April 29th for serial rapist Christopher Evan Hubbard. The 64-year-old was released to Lake Los Angeles in July of last year. Hubbard, also known as the pillowcase rapist, admitted to raping a total of 41 women in California in the 70s and 80s. District Attorney Lacey states, "We believe this violent predator continues to pose a serious danger to our community. My office is committed to protecting the public." The hearing will be held at the Santa Clara County Superior Court, Department 32, and will be open to the public. The William S. Hart High School District's FRC robotics competition team has done what no other team has accomplished in 10 years. The student-led team has made it to the FRC World Championships in St. Louis, Missouri. Project 691 has had only 6 weeks to complete a robot that can successfully stack and move bins for the championship with over 600 teams from all over the world. Now, I know this sounds easy, but 6 weeks is not a lot of time for a large-scale robot.
And we try to have the kids do as much as possible, because after all, they're here to learn. So, there's mistakes. That's how you learn in engineering, and then you pivot and you make a change.
It's the greatest feeling in the world once you see your months of work finally moving around, picking up boxes, doing everything you're supposed to do. It's the greatest feeling in the world.
The group has set up a GoFundMe account online for donations. To help the team, log on to gofundme.com/691champstrip. To see the full story on the robotics team, you can log on to scvtv.com. Now turning to weather. Santa Clarita held highs in the low 70s. Overnight lows are expected to dip down into the mid-40s. The weekend is going to be warmer with highs in the mid to upper 80s throughout. That's all for your SCV News Break. For more local news, you can log on to hometownstation.com or scvnews.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Haley Cook.